Hi, welcome to another edition of Fit and Free with me. I'm Angel. You can call me Aunty Angel if you want to. Today I'm going to be talking about tabletop pose, also called Barmanasana. I'm learning my Sanskrit words. And asana means pose, so you'll hear that word at the end of a lot of Sanskrit yoga names. And then Barman is one of the easier ones for me to remember because tabletop I can associate with like a barman. I know that's a weird, crude American interpretation, but there you go. Maybe it helps someone else. Anyhow, in this series I'm going to be breaking down individual poses, giving you lots of little individual tips and steps. And I started off in this beginner series with some of the poses which are often considered static, but actually have a lot more going on internally if you care to apply them. I'm going to be wearing my magnified sunglasses so that I can see my notes and demonstrating as I talk. So I have jotted down 9 tips. If I can make 9. 9 tips for tabletop pose, also called Barmanasana. Beginning with number 1, shoulders directly over elbows and wrists. So again, you're going to be thinking about a tabletop and trying to mimic that. That's hence why it's named that. So relatively flat and straight back. Number 1, shoulders under or over elbows and wrists. Number 2, gazing down between hands, chin slightly tucked. So I'm going to be breaking that rule while I'm talking and reading, but just to demonstrate, again, you're looking for this straight line. Number 3, fingers are spread and active, so spread out, and then the whole palm is activated. Number 4, your navel, that's your belly button, is pulled in a little bit or activated toward the spine, activated core. You don't really want to do that. That's more of a cat pose, but you don't want to just let it hang either. You want to activate the core. So I like to imagine a line, like a line from my spine to my navel and then back to my spine, and tightening up that whole thing so that it lengthens the spine at the same time as engaging the core and pulling in on the belly button there. Number 5 is tailbone toward the wall behind. So the tailbone is not tucked or flexed, but rather is, again, facing toward the wall behind me. So I'm trying to make this length, the tabletop, as long and flat as possible, basically, by keeping my gaze down at the floor, my tailbone pointed toward the wall behind me with a long spine. Number 6 is the tops of the feet are resting on the ground. You can't really see that, but nice and relaxed with knees under the hips. I didn't write that part down, but that goes with the shoulders over elbows and wrists. Number 7, knees under hips. I did write it down. I just didn't get to it yet. There you go. And number 8, ankles in line with knees. So you don't want to let the feet splay way out or cross them. You want to make kind of nice 90-degree angles with your lower body, with your legs. And then number 10, breathe. Let's get into that and just do like 3 to 5 breaths in tabletop pose. So checking in with all those things. I'm going to bring my hands in just a little bit closer under my shoulders, elbows under the shoulders, arms are activated, palms are activated, gaze is down between my hands, navel is pulled in a little bit, spine is nice and long. I'm pulling back a little bit through the tailbone, forward a little bit through the head. Can feel that, just a little bit of lengthening, checking in with the legs, that the knees are under the hips and the feet are in line with the knees and the feet are nice and relaxed. Toes are relaxed. There you have it. Tabletop pose. I'll be covering cat-cow, combination, a more active pose, which I often follow tabletop pose. Tabletop is often used as a transitional pose. And again, it's often thought of as a relatively static pose. But as I try to demonstrate, can be a lot going on. And these static poses, while they can be a resting point between more active poses, can actually be more active than you might think. And if you are struggling with health or, physical or any other issues that are making it so that you find these less than restful and more challenging, that's totally fine. It's great that you're here doing that. I myself have been through a wide range of capability, and that's one of the reasons that I love to share and try to inspire others to just check in with yourself. You don't have to wear any special outfit or build yourself a hand-built mega sculpture dome like the Head Hutt here, which, by the way, you can find a link to my book about. All of that is, just extra, just the special sauce that I put on top. But the caring for the self is fundamentally available to all of us. And wherever you are, start where you are. Do the best you can with what you have from where you are. And these static poses that I will be covering in this series are especially helpful for those of us who might feel limited, might feel like you can't do some of the more active poses. Well, start with the mountain pose, Tadasana. Start with tabletop pose that I just demonstrated. Trying to learn my names. Barmanasana. Barmanasana. You can correct me. Well, you can't really correct me, can you? I know how it's spelled. I just can't get my mouth to say it right. But I'm going to keep working on it. I can't get my mouth to say it right yet, but I will. And I encourage you to add that yet to the end of any of your limiting beliefs. And I thank you for stopping by. I remind you to give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, stay free and be excellent to you, because you're worth it.